Welcome back, everybody. Here we go. Three Scoundrels in a Cantina with my man, Avant, and Bob. We are back to go over the latest kits and all the latest news on the game we love to hate, because sometimes we hate it. And I know Avant at some point is going to have a moment where he hates it. We're gonna cover that. But
you guys better cherish that moment because he'll never see
Oh,
the
yeah.
end of this game.
yeah,
I am the hopeless optimist of Swigo. So I'm going to let the fire stir in my belly a little bit, and then I'll breathe out some fire later.
indeed.
Even if his glass is 1%, it's always 1% full, no matter how empty it is.
I feel like Avant has always kind of been like, I don't want to call him like a CG apologist, but he's always had that optimistic view. And now over this last GAC, that may change because
Call it logical understanding.
No, CG optimist is what it is. I'm just fucking with you, brother.
my goodness.
We need someone to be positive because there are people who hate the negative stuff. A lot of people do, so we got to have someone with some positivity.
Somebody, and usually it's Avant. Usually it's Avant to be like, guys, wait a minute. Everything is roses and
everything is okay. Stay on course.
Okay, but
and to be honest, he's usually right.
Today, Avant actually messaged me before the show and went, dude, something is fucking awry and we need to talk about it. And I went, whoa. All right. Some shit went down and we got to discuss it. But before we get into that discussion, again, three Scoundrels in a Cantina. We have a very, very special guest on this evening. He is a player that was playing for a long time, but did not survive the Great Nerf. CG decided to throw out some packs, and it brought some players back in the fold. So I'm very proud to say that this player is my son. He is coming to us from the United States Embassy in Baghdad, Iraq. My son serves there as a security detail. YoungSkywalker, what is going on, kiddo? Thank you for joining the show at 3:30 in the fucking morning.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
Fuck yeah.
Good to have you, man. It was a good time last time you were here too, right before you left. So wasn't too long ago.
Yes, I've never not had a good time coming on here. I think this is the third time I've been on.
That's what happens in the Cantina, man.
Always a good time.
So
I'm not allowed to share any drinks here.
No, unfortunately, no. So, Young Skywalker, tell us about what made you stop playing. Where was your moment where you stopped? And then tell us about where you, like, when you saw the packs, what was it that made you get back in? So kind of give us a breakdown. Because there's been a lot of players in this game that have stopped and went, oh shit, you're doing what? All right.
Yeah. So I stopped at around 5.8, and I know you. Anytime I come on the show, you were like, "Oh, he didn't survive the Great Nerf." It was more than just that, because there's been, although I haven't played the game until pretty recently, there are a lot of changes that they've implemented. So I quit when there still wasn't the better gear economy. So Carbonti, stun guns, Chirotech, like that shit was impossible to hoard. So that was all that middle game gear crunch to get from a new character unlock, getting them to 7-star, and then getting them to gear 12, and then getting them to 13, putting them into relics for their GL requirements. It was like months of grinding and farming, as opposed to now I'm back. Yes, I got the packs, but I've already started working towards Vader and Kenobi and Leviathan and Executor. And I have most of the Executor requirements, most of the Leviathan requirements, most of the Vader requirements, like all things just from the better gear all of those characters are at gear 10, 11, 12. I just have to put them to 13 and relic them.
Well, hold on. There was a moment where you stopped playing. There was a point where gear economy was bad. It seemed like you couldn't get ahead. Then all of a sudden, I mean, you've always asked me throughout the year, the years that you stopped, how is the game going? What's been going on? And it was kind of the same old, same old. I did tell you that gear economy had gotten better, but then the packs. So tell me about that moment and where were you? Where was your roster, and why was that the right time for you to come back?
So I was a big prequel, or not prequel, sequel hater. Wasn't a huge fan of them, so I was like, I'm not farming for Ray. I'm not farming for SLKR.
You're in good company, man. I felt the same way. I felt the exact same way.
He's with everybody else.
I don't like the characters. The only really interesting team was First Order, just because that was a really good team to start off with when you first started playing the game, along with Phoenix. So I already had them, but it was just I'm not getting Holdo to 7 stars. I'm not getting Rose to 7. I wasn't doing it. So I started to fall behind when it came to the GLs and those different teams in Grand Arena. And I only had I had SEE and I had Jedi Master Luke. I got Jedi Master Luke at launch.
You did.
I was a huge fan of that legend, and I was like, oh, he's going to be awesome. He's going to be able to beat Rey and Kylo, which is what I was struggling with beating in Grand Arena. And so when I quit, I had SEE and Jedi Master Luke. And this was shortly after Kenobi and Lord Vader came out. And it wasn't just the nerf that made me leave. It was also, I was really sad that Lord Vader was so bad. And I had spent
Avant. We had that conversation. It's not the Lord Failure topic really pisses me off because he's not Lord Failure. He's not.
No. Okay.
In the ancient Datacrons, he's not.
Yes.
This was pre-Maul, though.
Yeah.
This was pre-Maul.
Maul hadn't come out. Maul hadn't even been announced yet. Vader had just come out, and he was atrocious. And Datacrons weren't a thing yet. And then when you look at how good Kenobi was without Cat, he was just so much better than Vader with anything. So
Vader's initial release was sad.
No, it was. That
was also something that I was like, wow, that sucks. Especially because I had worked so hard to get Bad Batch to 7.
Bones.
Oh no! We're gonna have a roster debate between you and Bob about whose Bad Batch is better. That's happening live on air tonight.
What's funny is the more he talks, I'm like, this sounds exactly like my experience in the game.
Yeah.
I also got JML first. I didn't like the sequels, but I was like, I like Luke. He was the best part of those, and so I went ahead and went for it. But no, and they give me shit about Bad Batch. I don't know if you know about the inside joke, but
I do.
Yeah.
But no, so I had, again, but it was before Accelerated dropped, so I slow farmed Echo, Fobbs, Hunter, and Wrecker to 7, and then was gonna get Lord Vader probably in a couple of months, and then he was atrocious, and then Maul was announced, and then they announced the Conquest changes, and then they nerfed my whole roster, and I was like, all right, that's it. Yeah. That's it for me.
No, I totally.
It was kind of like a crescendo where it was just like there was one thing, and I was like, all right, I can still survive this. Then there was another thing. Okay, this sucks. And then there was another thing, and I wanted to huck my phone at a wall.
Yeah, about every 6 to 8 months, I had that same feeling that I'm just like, I really want to quit this game. So I
have to talk you off the ledge.
It's only because of that.
So as none of us could possibly know what this feels like because we already have it done, what was it like to buy those packs and then all of a sudden see your GP just jump to an astronomical number?
Yeah, so I went from 5.8 to 6.25 by the press of 9 buttons.
It's pretty crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
No, like Avant, what did you say your guild went up to in a week?
The first day we went up like 4 or 5 million. And like with all of these upgrades, we went from like 409 to like 423. So 14 million GP in like all of these upgrades. It's pretty wild actually.
If you bought both packs, it was about 600K increase per account, right around there.
But then like that's just what you get with the R5s, and then you have all of the Zetas people put on. You have unlocking the GL. You have relicking the GL. Like it's an insane amount of GP you're adding.
So
you guys are forgetting about that Star Killer pack too. You get like they talk about how you don't get the GL, right? You buy the packs, you still have to farm the tickets, you still have to farm the gear to gear up the legend. You still need the Zetas for the legend, which is what I'm suffering from right now.
Yeah, Zeta board. Yep.
Yeah, but like Star Killer, you're getting those 5 characters that you need that aren't terrible characters. I mean, Dash has his own team with the Scoundrels. Mara Jade is amazing with Emperor Palpatine and Star Killer and that weird requirements that he has. Kyle Katarn's amazing with Mon Mothma, really transformed the Rebel Fighters faction for the rest of the requirements. But just those 3 characters, getting all of them to 5 instantaneously, and then being able to do the Star Killer event instantaneously, that's huge for, what was it, $10?
That's amazing. I didn't realize that the Star Killer pack was $10.
No, that Star Killer pack was that. I mean, those packs were outrageous.
Star Killer was 50.
Yeah,
Star Killer's 50.
The Star Killer?
Yeah, the Star Killer.
Was it? Oh, I don't remember.
So I didn't think it was that good of a. I mean, it's still a great value, but it was $50, which I thought was strange. They gave the GL packs $10, and then the Star Killer was 50.
Well, I guess it kind of gives it away because we didn't ask him. YoungSkywalker, you are not free to play, obviously.
No,
we didn't. We kind of missed the part.
If you were to describe yourself as an aquatic animal, what would you pick?
There we go.
Oh man, I'm riding the wake of Dad's yacht as a little dolphin.
A dolphin.
Yeah.
Oh, you're riding the waves. Okay, I thought you meant like you're gonna compete with his yacht as well. I thought you were racing his yacht.
No,
that's what you meant.
No. I would have to start working the stock market.
Yep, chores around his house.
Catch up.
Bob, I'll buy a wakeboard and I can pull you on my pontoon boat and we'll jump over his wakes.
Yep, we don't need the yacht.
I will say, from my perspective, as a whale, and we're gonna hit the kit. This new Mandalorian came out. I'm not pulling the trigger yet. I mean, for you to do the Arnold's Whaler fail, that pack is out for 20 plus days. It's not going anywhere. I need more. I need to know. I don't know. I feel like I need to know.
About Paz now.
Well, it's like we've already well addressed that CG doesn't test, but they put out that this new Mando team is gonna rival GLs. But how would you know?
Don't get the fire brewing in my belly right now.
If it rivals GL, like I have no trust in this company.
Zero trust that this team will rival GLs. It could possibly decimate them all.
I will say one thing: the new Mando, I put to 4 stars and is gear 11, and the protection is already at 65K. That.
Who else expected Old Man Logan to come on here and say, "I already Relic 5'd him"?
So him and I were texting about it, and coming back to the game, I didn't have any Omicrons. So I anytime I see that I can buy Omicrons in the store for money or crystals or whatever it is, I start foaming at the mouth like a rabid animal. And so I saw that you could do the legacy tier and get 5 Omicrons for just putting Paz to 5 stars. I almost did it. For 5 Omicrons, I'm like, damn, that's almost worth it.
you know what, buddy, mention that because that's an interesting part of players that are just coming back into the game.
Yeah.
They know nothing about Omicrons, and that is really hurting their roster. So,
And if you don't have any saved up, like you get your first full 20 mats, and then you're like, okay, I have 35 choices.
Well, for your first one, if you bought the packs and you have Starkiller, your first one is a no-brainer, obvious Starkiller as your first one.
Yes, his unique ability is
Yes.
an excellent Omicron.
Yep.
Yes, and then I'm one away from a second one, and I'm putting that on Treya's unique.
Also
Such
a very
great
good
one.
choice.
One of the best.
I told him that. I said, buddy, Starkiller, Treya. Because at least with Treya, if you put it on defense, it's going to force your opponent to have to use something serious.
Those two Omicrons take those teams and take them up 2 notches on the ladder, like way up.
Yeah.
But for Starkiller, you could just do his unique much conflict in you, and you don't need the special ones. You could prioritize other characters.
Yeah, you don't need the other ones. So
I was going to say they're nice to have, but like not necessary.
Yeah, no. So my Omicron's in order. I already put Starkiller, and then I'm gonna do Treya, and then I'm gonna do Wampa, and then Savage.
Excellent.
So I have a question. What GL are you working on since you bought the packs?
This was actually a lot of debate between me and Dad. I wanted to immediately go for Vader and then Kenobi to finish out, have 6 legends, and then just be done with legends for a while until Jabba's requirements become accelerated.
No, I'm talking about the two packs you bought. Did you?
He probably already has them.
I have both of them.
No, they're done. Bob, they're done.
Bob, you play at a different speed, bud.
How?
Yeah.
I'm still farming the Radish.
He spends, you don't.
Oh, so you spent a little extra.
That was.
Then.
Oh yeah, I didn't have the Radish unlocked at all. After getting Rey, I immediately put that stupid, terrible ship to 5 stars.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Because also you had to do a few other characters. You have to do some relic levels. I'm still farming shards for Slacker, and it's been what 2 weeks since that thing came out, maybe even longer. So that's why I was wondering. Okay, that makes sense.
No, yeah, you're fine. I already had Jedi Training Rate at 7. I already had BB-8 at 7. All of the extra relic requirements that you needed for SLKR and Rey, I already had them. It was the smaller, shittier characters that were like, put Phasma to Relic 3.
So you have
exactly
Slacker, you have Slacker and Rey at relics and ultimates and everything?
SLKR is Relic 7 with his ultimate. Rey is Relic 7 without her ultimate and with 3 Zetas on her lead, Lifeblood, and Sun Whirlwind. SLKR has all 6 of his Zetas with his.
Bob, you got to think about it. He was a really good player back in the day when he knew that Kylo, Jedi Training Rey were the top of the game. Like he was playing back then.
When I came back to my account, I had 260 Zetas and over 400 Omegas.
Well, yeah, I knew you were good. I'm still trying to figure out like what did you buy to get? It's the ticket farm that is boggling my mind because it gates you.
Energy
so
packs,
maxed crystal refreshes, and yes, that's what I wanted to bring up. I was telling Avant before the show. If you bought the all of the Lightspeed packs, there is another special pack that comes into the store that is $5, and you can buy it. I think it was 6 times. It was 100 of the either light side or dark side tickets, but you had to be under 35 tickets to buy it, along with 300 energy.
Yeah, the GL tickets,
dude,
the
that's
things
insane.
Yeah.
Yes, and that was $5. You could buy it.
Insane.
You could buy it 6 times, so you're getting 100 tickets, right? And you're getting the 300 energy. 300 energy is what? Let's say let's say it's another 15, 20 tickets. So you're getting really 120 tickets.
The average, depending on
So-
RNG and rolls.
Yeah.
Someone in the Discord server calculated how much time does this pack actually save me. And it's about 3 days worth of energy that you would spend to get the GL tickets for each pack.
Gotcha.
3 days.
So
3 days.
it's pretty substantial. Actually, I don't think you had to have bought those Lightspeed packs to get these because they pop up as pop-up ads for me in the game.
Okay.
And the only stipulation is it's 100 tickets, right? You
Yeah.
can only have 144
44.
tickets. So you
Yeah.
have to have less than 44 tickets to buy the pack because it won't let you exceed 144. So you have to make sure you're below 44 or the pack will be like invisible to you.
Yeah. That's that. So I did SLKR. I finished him before that pack was even like either in the game or I had noticed it. So I was working on getting his ultimate ability and then saw that pack pop up and bought the pack, did the event, bought the pack, went back, got another ultimate piece, bought the pack, went back, got another ultimate piece, just jumped back and forth.
Yeah, I actually bought that pack when I was farming the Java Ultimate mats when I unlocked Java because I just wanted to speed it up. And like getting those mats is just tedious and annoying.
Yes. Yeah. Well, especially for the Ray event, I've been working on getting Ray's ultimate. And without the Zetas on her, it's not easy.
Yeah, have you
SLKR
lost?
just does not. Yeah, I've lost 4 times.
You have to mod her very, very specifically for that.
That is a
ultimate
lot
event.
of tickets to lose 4 times.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So what had happened was I had the lead Zeta and I had the lifeblood Zeta. Didn't have the sudden whirlwind Zeta, so I couldn't nuke out his little fucking buddies
Yeah.
on the side.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there trying to go through Kylo. Also, did not know that if you use Ray's mind trick, you ramp the hell out of Kylo.
Yeah, don't reduce his turn meter.
Yeah, nobody. The old video guide I watched, because I watched guides on all the events because I'm like, okay, I'm not losing tickets on this. This is going to piss me off. So I was watching the old guides and they were all like, 3, 4, 5 years old. And they were like, oh yeah, just go in with this team. And then like, never let Kylo take a turn. And by the time I get to being able to kill him, you tickle him. Right.
Yeah. I wish I could remember the name of the guide that I followed. I remember Gridden's guide, and Gridden's guide was pretty good. Actually, the guide that I followed, I don't think that guy makes videos anymore.
I still, to this day, and I know I've said this on the show, and I'll say it again. Fuck was his name? Bob, help me out.
Who? I don't know.
He had a huge rant about GLs. It was like,
Okay, I remember the guide. It was I think his name was Indigo.
I think I remember him. Yeah. Logan, I'm not sure, bud. I don't know.
it was Urzatron.
Actually, the only people I knew that really raged was Urzatron and Mobile Gamer.
It was Urzatron had a huge rant about GLs, and it was like legendary.
That was, I think, what broke his back. Honestly,
Yeah. It was when GLs came out. I remember you linking me that video when Ray and Kylo were announced.
Yeah, and he like lost his shit. And he was drinking on air.
oh my god, he went bananas.
Yeah.
There were a couple guides that I liked for the Ray event. One of them was Indigo, and the other one was Dylar's Twi'lek. I think it was the guy's name.
No,
After doing both,
I agree.
after doing both events so close to each other, the Kylo event is infinitely easier than the Ray event. The Ray event is a lot harder.
Yes, the Kylo event, if you mod him for health, is very, very easy. because he just stacks enough mastery where you can outlast Rey and then kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dylar's Twilight Tactics. He had some good guides because that was it was so long ago. I will say this: CG had figured out like, oh, we're gonna release these Galactic Legends, Rey and Kylo, and we're gonna make these events, and then they got feedback on them, and people were like, "Wow, we really fucked this."
Yeah.
The faint parry strike thing.
Yes, I was just about to say that. Who remembers when Rock Paper Scissors first came out and people were fuming about losing tickets consistently because no one could figure out what the hell to do?
Yeah, and that, and then the ultimate tiers were challenging, and if you lose one of those, it is completely deflating to lose all those tickets. So then
Yeah,
they made the subsequent GLs easier so that you didn't lose tickets, and then they almost made them like too easy for a couple of the GLs. Like the Jabba one was super easy.
SCE and Jedi Master Luke's are super easy too. You just play. There's no strategy. You just do it.
Well, here's my.
I did lose.
We spent.
I lost
so
tickets in the
fucking long.
JML.
Go ahead, bud. Sorry.
I lost tickets in JML in one of the tiers because I remember it was the one where Jedi Knight Luke had to take on Vader, and Vader used to like throw the culling blade every once in a while, and he would just crit the hell out of you.
Yeah. You had to like time out. You had to time out the blind, and then his like special lead ability where you get Jedi's will and he gains health and protection back, and then you would demod him for like crit avoidance and tenacity. It was weird.
Yeah. Sorry, Bones, I interrupted you.
Oh, it's just a rant like usual. You work your ass off for the requirements, or let's say when they first come out. I know some of us just bought them, but the last 4 or 5 years, you work your ass off on those requirements. Huh?
What are you trying to say? Oh, Father, what are you trying to say?
But anyways, so and then you get to the fucking. You're like, oh fuck yeah, the requirements are done. You don't even get to play with the character. You don't even unlock the character for 2.5 more weeks, unless you're buying the stuff or whatever. And then, like you guys are just talking about, you can't even guarantee you that you'll beat that event one time, and that's another 50 you have to worry about. That's a little ridiculous, but it's an old subject, and we all know nothing's going to change.
You know what? That's the thing, though. Whenever you're working on a GL and you're about to do the event, whatever character is required, you make sure you put damn good mods on those tunes.
Oh yeah.
Tickets are just you can't afford to lose those.
That was my issue with the Rey.
Required, you mod the shit out of those tunes that you need.
That was my issue with the Rey tiers. Was I did Kylo first, and I like moved mods. I made like a select mod tab and was like SLKR, GL, whatever. And then I got lazy and didn't want to move mods for Rey and just tried to wing it. And I lost a lot of tickets doing that.
All right, fellas, you want to move on?
Oh well, yeah. I had one more quick question. So now that you're back, young Skywalker, you're playing. You got back into GAC. What have you been facing?
Yeah. So the first round was fine. The first round of 3v3,
What division are you in?
Erodium 3.
Okay.
So the first round of 3v3 was fine. I came in second. I lost by 13 to the guy that ended up winning. And he had 3 million power on me. So I still almost beat him. But this round,
he had 3 million GP. All right.
This round, I sent a video to Dad because I was fuming when the bracket came out. So my GP at this very moment is 6,396,000. My opponent has 9.3. And another guy in my bracket has 8.8. Another guy in my bracket is 8.2. Another guy in my bracket has 9.2. Another guy in my bracket is 8.5. And then the last guy has 8.7.
And he just came back. What the
I'm at
fuck
6. Yeah,
is?
I'm at 6.4. Why am I going against people who have 2, 3, 4 more million GP than me and every legend besides Leia?
And then people would be like, it's the squishing or something. And I'm like, so? It didn't make it fucking right. They need to fucking fix that shit.
It's a weird
there's no
thing.
way.
This
There's
is an
no way it's
account.
squished.
This is an account that just came back online.
Right.
Just came back in the fold of playing. And look what he's facing.
Well, ask yourself, why did those players get pushed that far down?
Because they're manipulating the system, not because they suck. They're manipulating
I
the
don't know.
system. That's why they're doing it.
The guy
My
I'm going
son and I have already had to talk about this.
the guy I'm going against right now. If I could have gotten through the 4 GLs he put on the bottom wall, I would have beaten him because he only got past my bottom wall and then my Rey with her 3 Zetas and BB-8 and Jedi Training Rey with a 300% defense Datacron. He threw 7 teams at it and couldn't get through it.
So your approach to GAC should be this. You're going to be facing people who are like way more in depth roster wise than you, but you probably can outplay them with your skill of the game. Expect that you're going to win half and you're going to lose half.
Yes.
And
my goal for every GAC is to try to be in that 2 to 4 bracket.
Yes, that's an excellent goal. And what you're going to find is that because you spend and because you understand the game, if you can win 2 out of 3 and keep building your roster, you're going to keep climbing over these accounts that have fallen way, way, way down that have like 6 GLs because
they don't care anymore. They don't. No. They're not like GAC is not a priority to them.
Right. And they look at your roster when you get matched up with them and they're like, all right, cool. I'm going to set a GL wall and I'm going to try to screw this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they don't understand like off meta counters. So as you build your roster, you can figure out how to beat these people and you will just climb over them and get more crystals.
Yep. That's why Starkiller got his Omicron, because if I had his Omicron for this round of 3v3, I would have beaten him because I had to waste SCE on Rey, and then I had to do the weird Jedi Master Luke counter against Kenobi.
So just watch a couple Zareth videos, a couple of Zareth streams, because he has 2 alternate accounts that are lower GP than his mega account, and he does a lot of off meta stuff, and it will
something else.
I can't remember the other one, but Professor X is definitely one. But he does a lot of like off meta things. And the whole point of GAC is like put one squad in the front where your opponent's like, ugh, what do I take against that? And they take something in and it just fails. And then they have failed one squad and then you can trounce them.
Yeah. So for this round, in the situation that I'm in, I just put the Rey in the back, hoping that they would just be like, oh, this guy didn't really put shit on defense, and kind of just like overkill everything, and then get to my back wall and be like, oh man, there's a legend there.
All right, we are at that point. We've got to move on, folks. We're going to get on to the kit. So we had Meathead drop some shit. Tell us some shit. We don't. That's a conversation maybe for another day. That Mandalorians may rival or beat GLs, but they can't test anything else. But we have a kit.
Don't forget, Leia is an offensive GL only.
All right, now we're not Bob, behave. We're getting to that. No, that is a bot segment.
I would like to give.
No. That segment is
derailing. I'm derailing. I'm going to give Bones some credit here. He said we were going to get season 3 Mando characters. I don't remember when exactly you predicted that, but I think Bones deserves a little credit.
No, he does. It was about 3 shows ago, I think.
It was recent
There
history.
was a moment where Bob went, "You wait, Mando season 3, blah."
You guys are gonna make me shed a tear, especially coming from Avant. He gave me credit.
I remember.
No,
All
but
right.
we've been talking about like what we think's gonna come to the game like 3 times. It was when they announced the Beskar Gideon, so it's actually
So
quite
how
a
do
while
you-
ago.
So how do you feel about these characters then, Bob?
I'm excited. I just unfortunately so far there's nothing to be excited about. Gideon is a cool character, but it's territory war, and Conquest is a little tougher for me. Paz Vizsla as a character, I think it's awesome. He was one of my favorite Mandalorians, and the ways. Also, I just want to say like the animations, the model
Awesome.
are fucking top
Yeah.
notch on this guy. It looks
Dude,
really, really
yeah.
cool.
We're talking about Paz, right? The new character?
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah. Yeah. The animations and how this character plays, that's fun.
So
I'm
I loved
pers-
this character in the show. He was so cool.
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
And he was voiced by Jon Favreau, which is also pretty cool.
Yes.
I'll go with that.
And for Favreau to show that Star Wars is doomed, he killed off Paz Vizsla in the season Mando 3.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Spoilers.
I'm sorry.
Jesus.
If you guys haven't seen it yet, it's time.
You're listening
I'm
to a Star
personally-
Wars mobile game podcast, so you've probably already watched Mando season 3.
Although I haven't
True
finished the Ahsoka show.
You're not missing anything.
No,
I
don't
haven't-
listen to
I
him.
think
It was good.
I think it's the last like 2 episodes I haven't watched yet.
You should watch them. They're very good.
I know.
Don't listen.
I
Don't
know.
listen. Don't listen to Bones. They're good.
I've enjoyed it so far. It hasn't been too bad. But back to the light side Mando stuff, I'm actually really excited for what they could bring. Just because Beskar Armor Mando has been like without a home and just with Fennec to counter Lord Vader. That if they are good, I can be very excited to see what he could bring if his true potential with the Whistling Birds can be brought out by this epic confrontation Bo-Katan.
Yeah, because Beskar Armor Mando has kind of gotten the same LV treatment that he's trash. Like, I enjoy him. I don't think he's
Yeah.
trash, but, all the guys call him trash, and he's not
But he
that
doesn't
good.
really have a. But that's the thing. He doesn't really have a home. He really doesn't.
I disagree. I find him to be an interesting plug and play character, and it depends what game mode you use him in, right? So in 5s, people like to use him as one of those characters to counter Lord Vader because he stops Maul's fervent rush or whatever his multi attack is. But in 3s, he's a scoundrel. So I love using Bando with Han and Chewie, and you can pretty much nuke
That's
any
pretty
squad
Yeah.
because you take Bando in with the lead, and they he gives turn meter based on their attacks, and so what you end up with is one of the characters hits either Chewbacca or Han, takes them down below 50% health. Bando gets an immediate bonus turn and then puts damage immunity up, heals them back up, and protects them. And with Chewbacca in there, characters cannot be dazed. So they're constantly counterattacking and just wreaking havoc. So you can put them on defense, or you can use them on offense, and they will pretty much take any non-GL team out. They're awesome on offense.
Yeah. Guard is still an amazing ability. Can't
It's
be
a great
dazed, stunned,
mechanic.
or critically hit.
Yep.
All right. So we have, and somebody correct me, Paz Vizsla.
Yes.
We're gonna go with that.
Not to be
I was
mistaken
hoping
with
you would
Pez.
I was hoping you would butcher it somehow, but I feel let down.
There's
Yeah,
nobody can do that.
like Paz Vizsla.
The only thing he could have butchered is if he would have said Pez instead of Paz.
Yeah, Pez dispenser. No, not happening. So Tank Mandalorian. Let's go over the basic of this new character. Final text. Deal physical damage 3 times to target enemy. Gain 3 stacks of heat, max 10, or overheat, max 20, until the end of the battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. 5 plus stacks of heat. Gain 1 stack of resilient defense, max 10, until the end of the encounter. Plus 1 stack of overheat. Deal an additional instance of true damage to target enemy, which can't be evaded.
That's a lot of heating.
Ow.
It's getting a little hot in here. Might have to take off some armor.
So we have Special 1, Ancestral Broadside, cooldown of 3, final text. Deal physical damage to... by the way, the sound of that ability, when I did the event, I was like, oh, that's fucking cool.
I did not do the sound. Maybe I'll have to go back and play the sound.
Yeah, you should play the sound.
Is it as satisfying as Django's blasters?
It's better.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing better than Django's blasters or
it's one of my favorite one of my favorite. Yeah, I was gonna say Django's blasters and the seismic charge are two of my like favorite Star Wars sounds of all time.
Yeah,
and the Star Destroyer alarm. Me and Logan use that for our upset sound.
All right, so on this ability, Ancestral Broadside. Final text. Deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict breach and critical damage down for 2 turns.
Hey, real quick, it doesn't tell us, what does breach do?
Defense.
Ship, yeah, that was a ship thing.
Well, it's
it's the first time that this has ever been on characters.
All right, keep reading. I'll pull it up.
All right, you got it. You got it, Avant? All right.
Yeah, you keep reading. I'll pull it up.
Deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict breach and critical damage down for 2 turns. Gain 5 stacks of heat, max 10, or overheat, max 20, until the end of the battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. Gain 1 stack of resilient defense, max 10, till the end of the encounter. Mandalorian allies recover protection equal to 10% of Piz's max protection. Then we have 5 plus stacks of heat. Light side Mandalorian allies gain critical avoidance up for 2 turns. 10 stacks of heat. Inflict daze on all enemies for 1 turn. And 5 stacks of overheat. Remove 15% turn meter from all enemies.
So that's happening after when he has 5 stacks of overheat and he uses that move, it's removing 15% turn meter? Is that what's going on? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who was the first character who had breach?
I don't remember.
This is the first time a character has had breach, but the ships have had it.
Jedi Master Luke has breach. The ships have breach. Let me just look it up on swigga.gg. I'm trying to look for it with the characters. I'm not finding it, so I'll look it up on .gg.
I can just go into an arena battle and throw JML AoE at somebody and see if it sticks.
No, it's all right. Google will help me.
All I know is no one ever better breach me, or something's going to go down.
Okay, here. Breach.
No one is going to breach you.
Breach. The funny thing about breach is the icon looks a little promiscuous. It looks kind of. I'll let you interpret it for yourself.
I told you.
But anyways, breach is minus 25% speed, minus 25% defense. Does not stack with speed down or defense down. So you lose speed and defense.
Damn, that's pretty good.
That's
a lot of percentage for both. Imagine some armor penetration involved. Penetration and breach. It's not a good combo.
There's a lot of innuendo in this, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, there is. So, special 2 of the bit. Good night. We have Vengeful Incineration, cooldown of 3 and a Zeta. Final text. Deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict burning for 2 turns. Inflict expose and stagger on target enemy for 1 turn. Paz gains protection up 50% and retribution for 2 turns. This ability deals 30% more damage for each stack of overheated he has. Remove all stacks of overheat.
I mean, that's pretty good. What do you guys think? That's a lot of good debuffs being put out, and you get what was it? Retribution? Yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah, because if you think about the retribution, he had a lot going on with his basic, and
he also gets that buff that makes him taunt.
He does, yeah.
Yes.
So he's going to taunt, and then he's going to have retribution. So it's going to be like Shades of Baze Malbus, right?
Yeah.
Where
And he'll also be giving himself stacks of heat when he uses his basic on a counterattack.
Yeah, so he's going to gain that resilient defense, which is the pseudo taunt, and then he'll counterattack, and he'll just keep heating his gun up until he overheats.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, I want to say thank you to Dark Nar, our good buddy in the chat, for giving us a subscription. 4 months in a row, baby. Love you, my man.
Dark Nar.
Thanks, Nar.
Cheers, brother. All right, so for this kit, we have a unique one, Legacy of House Vizsla. There's a Zeta and Namicron. Final text. At the start of battle, Paz gains 10% defense and max health for each other Mandalorian ally, and 15% defense and max health for each other light side Mandalorian ally. Whenever Paz gains taunt, he dispels it and gains 2 stacks of resilient defense, max 10, until the end of the encounter. Paz has 10% critical avoidance and defense for each stack of resilient defense he has. Ow.
So will he be taunting then if he's dispelling it?
So he dispels taunt and gains resilient defense, which is the buff that makes him taunt. It's the same buff that Mace Windu has.
So why?
And Savage.
Does it just make him stronger?
That's and Savage.
What's the point of doing that?
Hold on.
I'm pretty sure it's more damage on his second special because he dispels all heat, overheat, and buffs on him, and he does true damage.
I think it stacks defense too. It gives him more defense. So he taunts, but it makes him thicker somehow. I'll have to pull that up and read it.
At the start of each encounter, if the ally in the leader slot is a light side Mandalorian, Paz gains Frenzy for 2 turns and 2 stacks of resilient defense, max 10, until the end of the encounter.
Okay.
Whenever Paz,
there you go.
What does Frenzy do?
What does this
do?
do?
Frenzy is the same one that Boss has, where her Maul too is.
Anytime a character uses a special ability, if you have Frenzy, that character gains 100% turn meter.
God damn. Okay. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, keep going.
All right, so whenever Paz loses a stack of resilient defense, he gains 1 stack of heat, max 10, until the end of the battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. At 10 stacks, abilities and effects that generate heat instead generate overheat, stacking max 20 until the end of the battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. Whenever he gains overheat, he gains 10% turn meter. Whenever he is inflicted with a debuff that can be dispelled, he gains 5% turn meter.
So looking up resilient defense, it's different for each character. So basically it's like a crafting way said it in chat, but basically resilient defense is like a temporary taunt. So each time you hit the character, they lose a stack of it. And then once all the stacks are gone, they lose their taunt. but basically characters with resilient defense will get some kind of buff to their kit based on how many stacks of resilient defense they have. So it'll really just depend how it's written. So when Mace has resilient defense, he has plus 10% offense and 100% counter chance.
Jesus, just more fucking dots and things for me to look at and think about when I just want to fucking click my buttons. I want to beat your ass with my new squad and move on. Jesus
Can
Christ.
I please read the last paragraph of this ability? Because we're not done with this ability.
Yes, I'm sorry. Can carry on.
All right, because this is sick. The first time Paz reaches 1% health, he dispels all debuffs on himself, recovers 100% health, gains damage immunity for 1 turn, takes a bonus turn, and then is defeated. And all other light sign Mandalorian allies recover 100% protection during this bonus turn. His cooldowns are reset. He has 100% offense, and his heat and overheat stacks are set to max.
Okay. I don't even know what the fuck is going to happen there. It seems like an oxymoron.
That means when you're about to kill him, he is going to fire off one last shot, and it might kill somebody on your team.
Can I say this?
That is fucking dirty.
It is really, really cool because this is so thematic to his character in Mando Season 3.
Yeah, to his end that I was talking about earlier. Yeah, for sure.
You're about to kill him, and he just turns his gun on until it completely overheats. And then he's like, guess what? I'm not dead. I'm taking some of you mofos down. And just lights the party up. It's exactly so cool. It's so cool. I love it so much.
Like, he recovers 100% offense. So no matter what his offense is, add it. That's outstanding.
That's a lot of
that is dirty.
He is a tank, so I don't think his offense is going to be too terribly high, but they did say in the kit reveal that he'll do decent damage in parentheses for a tank.
Words matter.
Yes.
Not for CG. They don't. Remember, Leia's an offensive GL.
Here we go.
Well,
burying
it
deep inside.
Hold on. So there were stacks of heat and overheat. This is what heat and overheat does.
You have to get to overheat?
Yeah. So
you have to stack so many heat to get to overheat. Then it turns into
okay.
So heat is plus 10% potency per stack. Abilities gain additional effects based on the number of stacks. Overheat. Plus 10% offense, negative 5% tenacity per stack. Abilities gain additional effects based on the number of stacks.
And then we have a TW Omicron.
While in territory battles, Pez has 25% defense, max health, and max protection. I'm not going to give a shit about that. At the start of each encounter, Pez gains 3 stacks of resilient defense, max 10 till the end of the encounter. Whenever an enemy is revived, Pez gains 5 stacks of heat, max 10, or overheat, max 20, till the end of battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. 3 stacks of resilient defense, max 10, till the end of the encounter. Plus 50% turn meter. All light side Mandalorian allies recover 50% health and protection. Inflict all enemies with healing immunity for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted. And this is when an enemy is revived. So basically, if you face this team, don't revive anybody.
If you're in territory wars, correct? With the
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you guys think?
So thoughts? I mean, it's
Sounds good.
nice, but I don't have enough yet. I need more.
So
I think for all the people who are 7-starring it and putting it to relics or whatever, I think they're doing it solely for the fact that he's going to be needed for Bo-Katan. So that's really why anybody. I mean, he's right now the only team who would really work in is probably Mandalorians. But is there really even a point with Super Commando and Gar Saxon with Dark Side Mandalorians? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. This is for, for a lot of players, this is you unlock it, you do it, it's done. He sits at 3 stars, but for those at the higher end, yeah, they're going to 7-star it and get ready for the event, and that's it.
I think that what you're seeing here was we have the Mandalorian faction, right? And they introduced Beskar Gideon, who is stealing any of the dark side Mandos. So they're trying to make a light side, dark side Mando team, right? One light side team, one dark side team. So then you ask yourself, okay, who are our current light side Mandos? We don't have 5, right? I think we have
the other Bo-Katan.
We have Bo-Katan. So we're eventually you're gonna get the new Bo-Katan, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have new Bo-Katan, old Bo-Katan, Paz Vizsla,
Beskar
Armor, the Armor, and Beskar Mando.
Okay, so
I mean that to me that seems like the light side Mando team.
Okay.
Unless they put in another marquee, right? Who would you guys think could be another light side Mandalorian?
Those cool red guard. Oh no, the Mandalorians. I have no idea, but just like Mando season 3 characters, the Praetorian.
Yeah, the one I could think would be Axe Woves. I mean, people talk about putting Sabine in there, but I think she stays with Phoenix. I don't think you pull Sabine from Phoenix.
Can I throw in a hot take?
Yeah, go ahead.
Does anybody not think that CG has been very generous? Could not Beskar, Armor, Moff Gideon be a requirement for this?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah,
Something.
I think
could they gate this behind a very hard conquest?
I think that is imminent.
Yeah,
I would.
It screams that.
I would buy stock in that.
Like if you look at this conquest, if you really look at it, unless you're up to date on the latest and greatest, this conquest is very difficult.
Yeah, I think that's true, for sure. But hey, real quick.
I mean, I don't know. Bob, you've been doing well. You were getting red box. Avant, with where you are, do you feel like this is a possibility that this conquest tune could be a gate? Like, did you get red box this go around?
Yes, I did.
Outstanding.
Only 50 crystal refreshes too. Sticking to my guns.
Fuck yeah, dude. Shit. God damn.
I agree, man. But real quick, I want to stay on like what the team's going to be. Would you guys consider, after watching Mando season 3, not in the game, but in season 3, is Grogu a Mandalorian?
Yes.
He is.
Yeah,
I should say.
I could see them. I could see
Yes.
them doing that.
Yes.
The IG.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Right there.
Yes.
There you go. I was like, shut up. Why do you keep interrupting me? Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Also, I think they're going to have some. I think the requirements for the new bow are going to be a combination of units needed for the new Beskar Gideon and for Bo-Katan. because I see Praetorian Guard coming, like Skywalker
I hope.
said.
I hope that would be
see
really
him-
cool.
It would be super
I've
cool.
been saying this for months too. I think that's going to go with the Gideon. So I think that's one of them. You know.
Nah, he'll be really good with Lord Vader.
I think this new Moff Gideon is going to be a part of this next event because I think CG wants more. What do I call it? More activity in proving grounds, and if they gate a tune like this behind those that maybe looked at this conquest and went, "Yeah, this isn't going to happen." They're going to pay more attention to proving grounds.
I mean, it's the
Tell you what,
most
I paid a lot
gameable
of attention.
thing because you have to really try your ass off to red crate. You have to put in a lot of effort. And
Dude, I have no context, but from what I understand and what from YoungSkywalker has told me, proving grounds is a fucking nightmare.
It's not fun. Restarring all of those nodes was not enjoyable, but it makes it really easy when you have all Relic 7 Jedi and you can just throw Jedi Knight Luke's lead in there and set all of their ridiculous speeds down.
all right, so I got another question. This event for the new Bo-Katan is called Epic Confrontation. Is that correct? I
Yeah.
think.
Yep.
That is the same as the Malak event. And
Yep.
And gas.
And gas.
And gas.
So before you guys
And yeah,
so it's been confirmed that Bo-Katan will be unlocked 7-star through the event. So it will you will not have to use your get currency. With that being said, does that mean there's going to be 5 characters, 7, 10?
no, it's unknown. It means you're going to have a certain set of characters, 7-star at least, to go into this event, but what you have them relicked at and ready at is on you.
So would you guys so how many marquees, not counting, so let's think requirements. How many marquees? 3 or 4? Do you think they're going to start doing 4 instead of 3 now? Is that the new trend?
I could see 4.
No, I don't think so. I think if they throw in Beskar Gideon as a requirement, I think you're not going to get 4 marquee characters because the epic confrontations have been different, right?
I mean, they've required 2 full teams, which was
2
10
a light side and a dark side, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my guess is my guess is going to be like Malak, a dark side Mando team and a light side Mando team. Is my
so you're saying, yeah, I could see that being very, very feasible.
And so, I mean, I know, I guess we can't talk about it all night, but like, I guess how many marquees would you need? I guess
I feel like it's going to be 2 more marquees. The new Gideon from Conquest.
Yes.
And
like all of the Mandos at Relic 5.
Sabine Wren at like Relic 8.
I don't think they're going to do that to us. I think they're all going to have to be 5, is what I think. I don't know. We don't know, but okay.
Yeah. So someone in chat says, or maybe Imperial remnants.
That's where I thought Beskar Armor Gideon would go. I thought he would go with remnants.
Yeah.
Instead of requiring dark side Mandalorians, Imperial remnants, that would actually make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Thematically and lore wise, right?
Okay. One last question from me, and I'll shut up. And this is for the table. All right. So let's just agree. Let's say there's 3 marquees coming. We know 1. What do all of you think will be the next 2? Go ahead, Skywalker.
Well, there's already a full Imperial Remnant team at the moment, right? There's the 5, and then Beskar Armor Gideon makes the 6th. So I think the Praetorian Guard would be cool for like Imperial or Remnant or whatever it may be. And then I don't really know what other. I mean, Axe Wolves is a good one. I didn't even think about that one. One of you guys mentioned that. I like that. And then I really don't think they're going to add Grogu as a single unit. There's no way they're going to let us do that.
Do you think they would add IG-12 or whatever the IG droid with Grogu was? Do you think they would make that a playable unit?
I think that's possible. I mean, they had IG-11 with Grogu in like the little backpack before, so I think that's absolutely possible. Yeah, one of his abilities is just yes.
You know that'd be the cutest thing. All fans love that. It wasn't very popular. The overall show wasn't that season, but that was one of the highlights I really liked was him and the robot.
I enjoyed season 3. I didn't like a lot of the hate I got.
I agree. I also enjoyed season 3.
No, it was good. Season 3 was good, and I enjoyed that too.
So Logan, what do you think, man? What's the next 2 marquees?
Man, I don't. I don't even have an opinion. It's just more shit I'm going to spend money on. That's where I'm at.
Come on. Just say something. You got to have an opinion. That's what the podcast is about, is your opinion.
I do. I honestly think CG is going to pull a fast one with Beskar Armor Gideon, this new tune. I think somebody we already have, but didn't maybe in the Mandalorian. That's kind of why I'm thinking Sabine Wren. Like, again, I know some people have been working on Phoenix more because of Old Man Rex, but I mean Sabine, it's like, how many people have really worked on her? I think there'll be one more. As for who that could be, I don't know. But I just think with how generous CG has been, this Conquest unit it's going to be required for this new event that's coming.
100%.
That's what
real quick, Avant, I want your predictions so we can all put it on
I think if I had to pick a light side character, it would be Axe Woves. And if it's not Axe Woves, I would like it to be I cannot remember the chick's name, but she's the Mandalorian in the blue armor.
Someone just said it. It is Casca Reeves.
Casca Reeves?
Yeah. I can see it being Casca over Axe Woves.
I would like Axe Woves better because he kind of puffed his chest out a little more and like took over the fleet. And I think his character is a little more interesting and more boisterous. And as far as the dark side characters, you guys already talked about the Praetorian Guards. I think that's a good one too. But I would like an Imperial Remnant Flame Trooper. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, from season 2.
It's not Mando season 3, right? But Gideon showed up with the Flame Troopers, and those guys were badass. They were pretty cool.
I agree.
Yeah, that was the end of season 1.
But I would prefer the Praetorian Guards. Honestly, if we get Praetorian Guards, I would kind of like them as like a Supreme Leader Kylo lifter, just to bring him up a little bit. But that's a conversation for a different day.
Okay, well, I think it's going to be Praetorian Guard, and I think it's going to be IG-12. That's who I think that CG is going to do. 2 honorable mentions that none of us have said is the generic backpack troopers at the end. They might have had Beskar armor. I don't remember, but you remember they all had jetpacks and it was a big fight.
Like the Super Commando updated troopers or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then one that we haven't thought about was the Pirates of the Caribbean dude that had no. But listen, he had his own capital ship. Now I'm not saying that there's a capital ship coming, but they could bring him in, and that gives them a reason down the road to bring in a new meta fleet. Just saying. I mean, he was a very unique character, so that's all I have to say about all that.
All right.
All right. Well, we have covered that. So we went through that new kit. So, GAC. I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna let Avant have his moment. and talk about GAC and what is burning on his brain. So let's all let Avant say what he has to say, and then if the rest of us have something to add on to that, we'll do it. But Avant, what's going on in GAC and what's on your mind?
Before I go into this rage, I am
Oh,
3-1 in GAC thus far. So I went 3-0 the first round, and then I knew
sweet.
I got promoted from Kyber 2 to Kyber 1, and I do not have GL Leia, so I knew I was about to see some shit.
Yep. All right. So you at least admit that you were going to get some shit thrown in your face.
And I sent you this message today.
You did.
I had lost in GAC. I had failed my Riva mission attempt for the first time in like 7 attempts.
It was a bad day. It was a bad day.
My Grand Inquisitor and my 7th sister got stunned on the opening get, and I knew it was going sideways after. So I'm having a bad Swigo day, right?
It was a bad day. It was not a good day at the office in terms of Swigo.
So I'm gonna pull up a post. I've been doing some digging, and let's go back. Let's go back to a CG post. September 12th, 2023. Kit reveal: Galactic Legend Leia Organa. Unit name: Leia Organa. Alignment: light side. Categories: tank, leader, rebel. Key attributes: offensive powerhouse, able to be competitive with most GLs on offense. CG, are you kidding me? Able to be competitive with most GLs on offense. Meanwhile, no matter what Galactic Legend I try to attack General Leia Organa with, I will lose. Now, okay, let me interject an ounce of optimism. This is with a Drogon Datacron, which is if you're a Datacron person, the Drogon Datacron is insane.
It's disgusting.
Do not get the Leia Datacron. The Drogon Datacron is insane. He gets a bonus turn at the beginning. And unless you have a character faster than Drogon, Drogon is going to nuke someone.
My Drogon speed is in the 340s.
So I see my opponent in my first round of GAC, and they have a non-ultimate GL Leia, and I just think, okay, I'm going to lose this. And then I go in, and this is the first time an opponent has attacked me in the first like 2 hours of GAC in probably 3 or 4 months. So my opponent attacks me, clears all of my squad zones, only fails on one team, and that's my Tuskens. And then leaves my ships. And I'm like, okay, this sandbagger, he's gonna like see what I can do, even though he knows he put his GLA on defense, and I'm not gonna beat it. So I'm already salty. So I'm like, all right, let me just try to clear these squad zones. I go against his Ray, I lose against his Ray, and I'm mad, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll recover, it'll be fine. And then
He went up against Ray today. Holy shit! Ray that'll fuck me up all day today.
I was unwell. I went into this GAC and I was and I got like 2 battles in, and I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna just try some shit against Leia. And so I took Sith Eternal Emperor and Watt and Sith Empire Trooper. So I had a pre-taunt. So Drogon hit Empire Trooper with the pre-taunt. So I at least got to put the tank tech or the shield generator on C with Watt.
Cut to the chase of where you died. Because you died.
And so I did die, but I watched every turn, and Drogon just kept going, flamethrower, flamethrower, like, and C somehow survived. Like, I linked, and so R2 was stealth, so I couldn't link R2 and Drogon. So I linked Leia and I linked Drogon, and then I did get to C's ultimate, and I nuked Drogon. But like, there's no point because my opponent set like an insane defense. He set, I think, like, I'm trying to remember how many GLs. I'm pulling it up right now. So Rey, Jabba, then I also had Rex, Captain Rex 5s. And that was in the bottom zone. And then the top zone.
I feel like if you have Leia and your opponent doesn't, you don't have to set a sick defense on the wall that has Leia. They're not, like, unless somebody spends serious money, you're not going to get through it.
Well, then they set Seer, Cal, Malicos, GL Leia, Lord Vader with Riva and Maul, and then the CLS Chupio squad and like a Grand Inquisitor squad. But I went into these attacks and I was like so fucking frustrated because GL Leia is supposed to be an offensive GL, which means that on defense she can be beaten, right?
Yeah.
Am I misinterpreting that? I feel like words matter, and the words that CG chose to talk about GLA just were so incredibly wrong. And my frustration is, don't say any of that. Just release the GL, tell us she's powerful, and then don't say what you think she's going to rival and you think she'll just be offensive. Because while yes, she may be offensive, she looks pretty damn defensive to me. Like,
the problem is, and this is what they said, this is going to be a GL that is offensive in nature. And they're not wrong. The problem is the AI plays Drogon really fucking well. Because Drogon will shoot and kill you. And
immediately. He gets the first turn.
You are left with your dick in your hand going, well, that worked. However,
remember, Leviathan was supposed to dominate all ships.
Wait a minute.
Beaten by Negotiator.
YoungSkywalker, because I brought this up before we did the show, and I said to him, well, Leia is a problem. CG said offense, but you put her on defense, and unless you have her, you're not getting through it. But
no.
YoungSkywalker, you saw a counter with something?
Yeah, so it's a two-piece. So how people have been piecemealing Java to try to like save their GLs or whatever, so they can put them on defense more. The off-meta counters that we were talking about earlier, it's expensive. It's a very expensive two-piece counter, but it does beat Leia from some of the posts that I was seeing and in the Discord of my guild that they were talking about. So it's the Riva team with Grand Inquisitor and then the sister with the droid, and then it's the Jedi Master Kenobi team that was beating it pretty consistently. You get Drogon out with the Inquisitor team, and then you can piecemeal the Leia with Kenobi after Drogon's gone.
That's expensive. Riva and Kenobi take out one legend. That's
basically in GAC. That's like 2 galactic legends, right? Because Riva is essentially a GL.
Yes.
And you have to also have Reva.
Yes.
Yeah, we're getting there. So it was funny. We were in Discord discussing this counter with you for like 6 hours or something the other day, and then we kind of finished up. We quit talking. I think you told us the results or something, and 5 minutes later, Zareth goes on live, and his title is "How do we beat Leia?" And I was like, "How ironic!" And
I watched that stream, and Zareth, I think, threw 3 different legends at that time, and it didn't beat it.
What were the teams?
Oh God, Jedi Master Luke, Slicker.
They have no chance.
Which was also funny is today, Arnold was streaming his GAC, and I was just chilling, so I thought, why not watch it for a bit? I was bored, and he was literally whenever I tuned in, he was taking on Leia with C, just like you did, except with armor instead of Watt. And he did the same thing. He got Drogon. That was it. So he timed out or whatever the hell he needed to do. And then he tried gas or something. And I had to get off there. But he also was getting caught up on it. So I'm interested to hear these counters from other people and see what people are doing, because it's not much.
So, Logan, when your opponent has Leia, do you save yours to attack or do you put her on defense?
No, if my opponent has Leia, more often than not, they're going to put it on defense. So if they do, I'm going to mirror match it. And if you do it right on a mirror match, you can beat it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. So you just have to get Leia.
Well, to wail just as equally as they did.
To be honest, I'm not going to lie. From what I've experienced, the biggest trick is your Drogon has to be faster than theirs.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, because I mean he's gonna nuke someone.
Yeah. Like your Drogon.
That's my other
lightning fast.
That's the other issue with Leia is it Leia or is it Drogon?
It's really Drogon. I really honestly believe the key to that counter is if you can develop a counter where even if it's a 2-shot, if the first team can get Drogon out of there, she can be beaten. Yeah. The problem is it's expensive because Leia is so weird saying this, but she's so thick. And I know.
Yeah, she is, big boy. Not as thick as Hera, though, in Ahsoka.
We've gone from breach to thick.
Yeah,
thick with 2 C's.
And the fact that she has abilities that her damage is based on her health, that's just. And then you add Datacrons into the mix, it's just so ridiculous.
And that was the other thing. Do you think the Leia will still be this dominant on defense after the Drogon Datacron goes away?
I don't even think it's so much the Drogon Datacron. If you look at Leia's second wind, instead of everybody just getting 50% turn meter health and protection, they're all getting 100. Leia's Datacron and GAC is actually, I mean, either one is not bad.
So I think what kills a lot of the Leia counters is that Drogon's bonus turn just completely thwarts whatever counter you're trying to assemble, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the good content creators and theory crafters come up with these ideas where and I said this in Discord yesterday because someone was like, oh, Solabase said if Slicker can go first, is your Slicker faster than Leia? And I said, oh, it doesn't matter because Drogon gets a bonus turn.
Yeah, bonus turn, immediate. And
so you could do Slicker and Watt, right? But your Watt has to be faster than Drogon. And so Then you need Slicker faster than Leia, Watt faster than Drogon, and then you have to put the bonus turn onto Slicker, and then still Drogon's gonna go, and you hope he doesn't nuke someone, and then you need Slicker to poke and do a 2-turn stun. It's just like there's too many variables with the Datacron. This reminds me a lot of when Afra came out, and people were like, "Holy shit, Afra is such a hard counter to Jabba."
Yeah.
And
well,
then
the other thing about this Datacron set is if Drogon doesn't nuke the character that he hits, if you have the ability block Kron for Rebels, that's filthy.
Yeah.
That's absolutely filthy on a Leia team.
So I think the Datacron puts another layer to this, right? And so we can't really answer this, but I would like to think that, oh God, how many months from now? 4 months? 4 months from 4 months from now, it'll get better in 4 months. That sounds fucking terrible.
On Leia, where if they hit you and no one else is ability blocked, your ability blocked. That ability on Leia, I mean, I have that Kron for a Leia Kron and a Drogon Kron. That is just fucking filthy. If you hit somebody and they're not ability blocked and you inflict, I mean, it's like, especially in 3v3, you cripple so much of that team.
As soon as you lose one character, you're toast.
You're done. You're done. And I mean, Bob said it best. I think Zareth's video was, "How do we beat Leia?" It was, and I watched him throw legend after legend, and then I went, "Why the fuck am I putting her on?" Because I mean, for the first 3v3, I had her on offense, and she was just, I saw Lord Vader, and I went, done. Dead. But now I'm like, all right, defense, somebody else's problem.
Yes, a very big problem.
And Zareth doesn't fuck around. Like, he is one of the top intelligent guys in this game that, teach everyone and it trickles down,
He's very good at theory crafting and squad composition. Yeah, for sure.
Well, what else? Do you guys have anything else to say about Leia?
So, Avant, do you think, what do you think after the Datacron goes away? Is Leia overpowered? Is this what does this mean for the landscape for the next 4 months? If you don't have Leia and you face somebody that does, are you fucked?
Yeah, I'm gonna lose 3 matches this GAC round and drop back down and face people where I belong. I shouldn't have gone 3-0 last round, because now I'm gonna get what I deserve and I'm gonna go 0-3.
YoungSkywalker, what do you think about this whole Leia thing?
I don't gotta deal with this shit.
Fair enough. There it is.
Darkness
on the off chance that I go against someone with 10 mil GP now and they have every legend, including Leia. Okay, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna put gear nothing level 1 characters on defense. Be like, there you go, man.
Yeah, if you're gonna make my Grand Arena suck, yours is gonna suck too. That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, buddy.
For all my sequel haters out there, my favorite quote from the sequels was from Snoke.
Hey.
Darkness rises and light to meet it. This is pure balance. It is, you win 3, you lose 3. You win 2, you lose 2. This is just how GAC works. You cannot climb unless your wallet opens wider and wider.
All right, so we've had some news. The Jedi Cal event is about it once again, and thankfully, it's not a long gap like the Grand Inquisitor. Jesus Christ, that was
Thank
ridiculous.
God. Thank God.
But Bob, Avant, are you ready for this event? And if you are, what are you going to put the character to, and how are you going to mod him?
I'm Tarful. I have everybody to gear 12, 7-star, but Tarful. Fucking Tarful.
Where's he at?
He's like 6-star, maybe even still on the last end of 5-star. I got a long ways to go, unfortunately.
Ooh, they got that crystal pack. You in the store. You could get 330.
It's free to play. He is free to play.
Not because I don't want to be, just because I'm broke.
No, one of our listeners who also has his own podcast, Pico Burrito, helped Bob out with the new packs, hooked him up.
Yeah, that was really cool, man. And I mean, that was at a time where I was fucking ready to quit. I'm talking like it was a long time ago. This was last week or something.
Last week.
I was fed up with this game, guys. I was ready to quit everything, even the podcast. I was just pissed. But I mean, that really made things better for me. And like here in about 3 months, I'm gonna have 3 GLs because guys, I'm almost done with Leia. The only thing that's keeping me from that is 7-star in the marquees. Everything else I'm done with. So I'm excited. I'm gonna have 3 here soon. I'm gonna have fucking Malicos as well. So it's gonna be good. And I have to work on fucking Bad Batch.
Pico's a good dude. Shout out to Pico Burrito. We love Pico.
Love you, brother. Yep. One of my all-time favorite people having on here.
Follow Table News Network with Felix Era. Check them out. 100%.
Who's also been on here several times. We need to have, with all the conquest and the new stuff, we need to have her on soon. I think
we do. We should.
Maybe when the next conquest comes around, I think that'd be good. But so anyway, yeah, I got to work on Bad Batch soon, and we didn't talk about this about talking about it, but it is something I want to discuss with you guys. We all know the joke with me and Bad Batch, and ironically, we start joking around with me, and fucking 2 months later, they release the Marauder, which requires 3 Bad Batch. Which pisses me off, but that's not what I'm going to ask you. What do you guys think about the Negotiator with Marauder taking out Leviathan? Isn't that crazy?
First off, before I go there, because I know Avant is going to be like, oh my God, we're talking about the Leviathan.
I just want to interject. Jedi Cal, I'm ready. They're all Gear 12 or more. 2 of them are at Relic 5. When I unlock Jedi Cal, I'm going to take him straight to Relic 7. Continue on with the conversation.
Sorry, buddy. I know we went off to the side there. My bad.
I have to know right now, what is your Bad Batch at? Stars and gear level.
You said me? You kind of cut out.
No, Bob, you. Yeah. Bad Batch, stars, gear level.
Well,
go.
It's going to take a minute because I don't know. But they're not good.
What about you, young Skywalker? What are you at?
What? Yeah. Where are you at?
Echo, Hunter, Wrecker, and Tech are all 7-star gear 10. Omega's 3-star. I'm not touching her.
Don't. Just leave her. She's fine.
Yeah.
So they're all gear 12?
No, they're all gear 10.
Oh, gear 10. All right.
Yeah, I just made it somewhat usable for Marauder.
How fast is your Echo? Do you have good mods on him?
No, because they're all gear 10. I'm not super worried about it. Once I finish the Executor and have that unlocked.
Don't sweat them. If you can get Echo fast, that team can surprisingly punch up super high.
Yeah. You get
stuff in GAC.
It's his second special, dispels everything. You get days and tenacity down, and then Tech goes and does
the healing immunity, and then the stun, and then Wrecker's double turn stun. It's so sexy. Just God damn it, Bones.
Young Skywalker, the Bad Batch are so good. Hey, Bob, where's your Bad Batch at?
All right, so my worst one is Wrecker at level 1. So that means nothing, but he's at 7-star. and it's the only one that's at 7-star, ironically. So next, I have 2 that are at 6-star. Tech is at 6-star level 1. Hunter is at 6-star. I have him geared up to what? Gear 9. He's the highest geared one I have because I've tried working on them 2 different times. And then Echo is 4-star level 1. So that's how good my Marauder is, you guys. I have 1 character that's above level 1. That's it.
Young Skywalker, just so you know, Bob's account is above 9 million.
I've also been playing for 8 years. That's embarrassing. I used to be proud of that. Now where my roster is, I'm embarrassed to tell people that.
Well, hey, at least you have. I'm assuming you probably have, since you've been playing for so long. You have Gamorrean Guard unlocked. I do not somehow.
Yeah, I have Jabba, so yeah, I have Game Guard.
You don't have Gamorrean Guard unlocked?
No, I realized that when I was like, "Oh, what are the Java requirements?" And I'm like, "No."
What level is your cup?
He's 7-star, but I don't think I didn't touch him.
If you guys don't know, you have to make sure that Cup is always level 69.
That's true.
That's where you have to put. I don't know why it's just a thing, but it's
I
either
don't-
R8 or level 69.
It's science.
Too, and I don't
can do that.
understand why that's a thing.
I can do that. That's too easy.
You said Relic 9. You don't know why it's a thing? It's just
No, Cup.
Oh. I mean, I'm ready for them to like have a reason to make him
Stun
legit.
on basic.
Because
Stun on basic.
wasn't there a Coruscant underworld police in Andor? Remember the guy?
I don't think
the
so.
guy that was
that's
overbearing about his job, and he like killed somebody, so he ended up getting at the desk working. That guy, I think he was like a cut.
That sounds like a deep cut.
Yeah,
Like
a
a theory, like he was wearing
no.
a deep cut. What?
I'm not buying that. Like, I
No.
feel like that's a deep, dark theory. I don't know about that.
No,
Yeah,
not
like-
that that's him. Not that it's him, but I'm saying, didn't they have the cups, the underworld police in Andor? That's what I'm asking. Not that that's him.
I feel like Bob is really breaking out the aluminum foil right now.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys are understanding where I'm going with this, but anyways.
No.
I don't remember them. I don't remember them being on Coruscant all that much, besides on the Mon Mothma scenes and then the Imperial like nonsense scenes.
Yeah, it was something to do with. I don't know. I'll show you guys later on who I'm talking about. But back to what I was saying though. What do you guys think about the Marauder and Negotiator, which I also hate with a fucking passion, is taking out Leviathan? What do you guys think about that?
I haven't tried it.
I've tried it 3 times. I've got it to work once. I'm still trying to work it out. It is possible. I have the ship at 7-star. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. It gives people an opportunity who, here you go, put Leviathan on defense, and you're like, oh shit.
No, fuck those people, because I'm free to play, and I went for Leviathan. You should have too. Whoever the fuck you are. That's how I feel. I'm pissed about that.
I did.
I know.
And
You always
I'm
do.
okay with this.
Well, you have
In fact-
everything, so of course it doesn't matter, because you can take anything out, whether you have Negotiator or not.
4 or 5-star, this ship is viable. It can work. I think this is good for free to play. I think this is I don't know. I think this is a good thing. I don't have a problem with it.
I think if it elevates Negotiator, it's not a bad thing. Anything that makes a mid-tier fleet better is fine in my book.
Here's my problem. It should be able to take out Executor. That's it. That's the high it goes. That's my problem with it.
What they're going to do, look, this is what they're going to do. They're going to look at the data for a while. There is something going on with Valor, with Negotiator, that is not functioning as intended.
Not working as intended.
Exactly. And it's countering Leviathan. It doesn't bother me. It's like because I benefit from this. I put the ship to 7-star. I have it. My Bad Batch, unlike Bob,
you-
are all 6-dot mods, well relict. Well, you know.
You forgot to play the song.
Yacht
It's Groundhog
problems.
Day.
What about?
So it's like, you know, I don't know. This just doesn't it doesn't bother me. I don't mind this.
What do you other two
And-
think? We don't care what the whale thinks. What do you guys think?
I like it. I mean, I also don't have any of the legendary fleets, so like I don't have Executor, I don't have Leviathan, I don't have Profundity, I don't have any of the ships that go with those fleets, very highly starred or if even unlocked. Like I don't have Dash Rendar ship unlocked, I don't have Alcatarn ship unlocked, I don't even have Radis, not yet Radis the character, don't even have him unlocked. So for me, it's good if I see Leviathan in Grand Arena or in Fleet Arena. It's I go for that instead of the random negotiator or malevolence or whatever it is. So I enjoy it, but
And Logan, I do care what you think, buddy. I didn't mean to be mean.
No, it wasn't that. I was just saying as a whale, I think this is a good thing. I like it that a unit comes in and works not as intended. And, you know, can you imagine a player that doesn't have Leviathan yet has this ship and Leviathan pops up and they go, oh, yeah, I can beat it. I like that.
Avant, what do you think, man?
I like it. I think elevating a mid-tier fleet, whether or not it counters the meta fleet, I don't have a problem with that because I think fleets like it's not going to affect fleet arena because I feel like the data it's not going to work every time. It's not going to be reliable enough.
No, it's
But
not.
I think that if you're going to use it in TW or GAC and it's going to require skill and maybe a little bit of luck, I'm good with that. Like fine, so be it. It's not the same level as Leviathan, but it might work. And I'm cool with that. But like you said, if it counters Executor, good. It's probably not going to counter Profundity because Profundity stops the turn meter gains. And it hopefully won't counter Leviathan too hard. But if it does, I feel like it's going to be only for offense. Like you're not going to leave that fleet in on defense because you're just going to get trashed.
And kind of look at it from my point of view, why I feel the way that I do. In order for me to get Leviathan, I had to get Malgus before he got to Proving Grounds. I had to get Fury class, which is not in the Proving Grounds yet. So that right there, those two things, not to mention the R9s, the R8s, it's you can't
expensive.
You have to be past 4 million to even think about going for it. You cannot even think about it until you're 4 million. So, it's kind of a in-game luxury to have. That's why I went out of my way to go for it as soon as I could. That's why.
Well,
That's why I think I think Leviathan should be hands off from it. I think anything else is fine, but the Leviathan is the only ship that you can't go for until you're 4 million at least. And even then, let's be real, you're not going to go for it. You then start doing Proving Grounds, and you now need 330 shards of 2 conquest characters once you hit 4 million to even start on it. So
I can hear multiple podcast guests of the past cringing right now hearing you say that.
why?
Leviathan should not be unbeatable. It should be counterable.
Yeah.
Because
I think Profundity should be the one that could do that. You know what I mean? Not
I just raged about how uncounterable GLA is. Don't release something that is unbeatable because every time you release something that's
I'm saying Negotiator and Marauder. That's all we're talking about. I'm not saying unbeatable. I just don't want this particular ship that yes, is probably great for free to play people.
No,
I have no problem with Leviathan being the latest meta fleet and something being able to counter it. I don't think that if they release a new ship and it counters the meta fleet, that we need to turn the world upside down to make sure it doesn't get countered, I think it's fine. You cannot keep creating more and more power creep. You have to have, I hate this term, but you have to have the rock, paper, scissors meta. There has to be diversity, and you can't just have continual power creep where your pyramid of power creep becomes like unclimbable.
And thank you, Jack. Added. I feel you, man. I agree somewhat with the whole rock paper scissors thing. But yeah, Jack also mentioned the 25,000 crystals I had to pay for that shit, amongst the other ones. That's why I think yeah, I'll shut up about it. You guys already know how I feel. But that's another thing to add on to my point. Like, come on now. And then now some shitty negotiator team that you spent fucking a month on can beat my best shit.
All right. Hold on here, and this goes on to what Avant had said for the last couple of shows. So, here's the skinny on this. So, Leviathan came out, and it could be had. And a lot of people were upset. A lot of people were pissed off. They made some changes. Then it was a little more difficult. But those that spent all that money went, well, wait a minute, we're not happy yet. Then they added Isolate.
Yeah.
Adding, let's look at it for what it is. Adding Isolate to that fleet against Profundity was crippling. Because if you don't have the best RNG possible, you are not winning that fight. You are not. And then you will lose.
You've lost a GL fleet at that point.
Exactly. So the fact that, and again, as a Kraken, someone that has Leviathan, but it also benefits me. You want to add a Galactic Republic ship that does what it does to give players another option. I'm going to benefit from it.
Avant's I'm going to use that to attack. I'm going to use that to attack, and I'm going to put my GL ship on defense. Because
you're gonna benefit from it. YoungSkywalker is gonna benefit from it. Everyone but me going to benefit.
Everyone but me is gonna benefit from it.
Did you not unlock it? Did you get
he doesn't have his bad badge high. He can't even use it.
I have him at 5-star. Yeah, I have him at 5-star, but my fucking bad batch, which I can't just stop what I'm doing to work on, is at level 1 right now.
Avant, what counters Bad Batch?
Bad Batch.
Oh no, what does Bad Batch counter?
Itself and everything else.
Everything except for Leia.
I don't know.
Well,
I would be
nothing counters Leia.
But Leia cannot counter Bad Batch. I'm just fucking with you. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna say. You place a Bad Batch team and I have to place Leia, that's going to be over very quickly.
So funny enough, on my stream today, I went up against a Bad Batch team on defense, and I also tried using Executor against Leviathan as well.
Did you beat Bad Batch?
Yeah, I don't remember what I used. I mean, it was pretty easy. I don't remember what it was I used though. But what's funny is I looked on the counters, and there wasn't very many
That's because they're not defensive. It's an offensive team.
Yeah, so I was a little worried. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
So
you have to outspeed Echo. That's what you have to do, and then you win.
So now that these packs have come out, there were packs for Kylo, Rey, YoungSkywalker took advantage. So I don't know. 12 months, is Jedi Master Luke and SEE on the menu?
I think in a year.
Is that 12 months. Is this the new cadence? Is this a new thing that CG is going to do?
Why not?
It depends on how well those packs did. If those packs did really well and they got their concurrent amount of players up, and how many people are on the game, and if those people are staying on the game longer, it'll be sooner than 12 months.
I think that the packs did very well, but I think we're going to have to wait to see a financial report, right?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Solo Base said in their last podcast, which was
this
I don't know
this week, right? Or
this week, 4 or 5 days ago, I think, 2,000 more rays in the game.
So
That's 2,000 more players.
Rokarin in the chat says JML has too many nested legendaries. So
that's also true. Yeah,
but maybe they can make more money by selling those other legendary packs. You know, the cheaper ones for the the newer players. They have to buy that, and then they buy the other stuff.
Yeah, with JML, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. You need to have a lot done to do that. That's true.
Well, if they're willing to release a pack where they take everyone to Relic 5 for a GL requirement, what makes you think they're not going to do the same thing for buy this pack for Jedi Knight Luke, and then buy this pack for the rest of the characters? Like, it sounds ridiculous, but if 4 weeks ago you told me they were going to release $10 GL packs, I'd have told you were fucking high.
Go fuck yourself, you bastard.
Go fuck yourself. You fucking stone douchebag.
I'd have told you, no way in hell will CG ever do that. And
you fucking jerk off.
I'm glad they did it.
That I'm glad about, yes. I'm not mad about that.
I don't even remember what the requirements were for Jedi Knight Luke and Jedi Master Luke. I'm opening my game right now to look. I know Wampa was one of them for Jedi Knight Luke.
Wampa, Hoda, Wedge Biggs.
Kind of what made Jedi Master Luke so expensive.
Yep.
Yeah.
You need those.
But also nowadays, the Jedi Knight Luke requirements with Wampa and Hoda are much easier to get if your guild does the crate raid, because the guild 1 currency from the crate raid, you can unlock those characters really, really fast. So you don't have to grind those shards like you used to. So CG has put some thought into catch-up mechanics for these characters.
And you guys still don't think something big's coming. You just don't. You think
they already talked about, like, honestly, if you look at the cadence of the game, they're doing the Mando thing. This is going to be Mando Season 3, Bo-Katan, the new unit that, and I love how Meathead put it, that it will rival or possibly beat GLs. How the fuck would you know that? You guys don't test your game.
Yep.
No, seriously. Let's look at that statement. If we look at the past 6 months to a year of this company and the products that they've given us, yet Meatball comes out and goes, "Oh, new Mando tank, lead up to Bo-Katan, gonna fucking beat GLs." We're gonna believe you? No, seriously, we're gonna fucking believe you. Like, we're gonna buy the shit you're selling. Like, you don't test your game. You can't even get fucking Conquest right. Like, I don't know. Bob, YoungSkywalker, am I wrong? Like, look at the testing history of this game. Yet, all right, this new unit looks promising, but they don't test anything. How should people go forward if nothing is tested? Yet, we're the testers.
I just think.
Yeah.
I was. Go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. There was a Reddit post that was kind of talking about Leia, and then how they worded some of the Bo-Katan verbiage in Paz Vizsla's kit, with how bad Leviathan release was and how much they hyped the ship up, and then how they talked about Leia as like, oh, it's going to be an offensive powerhouse, and now everybody's putting it on defense because it's miserable to go against.
Yep.
And then you have this Paz Vizsla kit where they didn't say very much at all about Bo-Katan. They were like, "Oh, it'll go against Legends. It'll be good against Legends." They said something like that.
That was it.
They didn't talk to they didn't go into too much detail as opposed to previous announcements for things like Leviathan and Leia, where they were like, "Oh, it's going to be this, like for sure, it's going to do this." And so I think they even realized that it's like, all right, maybe we should just like release the character and let them figure it out on their own.
Well, it's just like Avant said earlier. Just don't say that. Just tell us what it is, what it does. You don't have to add the extra. This is what it's going to do. And maybe that's their way of hyping everyone up to get their credit cards warmed up. Maybe.
No, that's the thing. When CG drops a character or an event that says this could beat Galactic Legends, everybody goes, "Oh shit!" And then I think it was mentioned the Omicrons are going to be for GAC, and it's just going to hand everybody, it's going to be a new team, because I mean, we all know there's only 2 places in this game where you earn consistent crystals: Fleet or GAC. And that's it.
I believe the phrase was, "The Leviathan will profoundly execute the other fleets."
And now it does.
I swear they said dominate as well.
Yeah. Now it does, but how until the new Galactic Republic ship came out? But how many fixes did it take for it to be
5
what
months
was
of fixes just to get countered 1 month later by some shit?
Yeah,
I really want you to cue it up every week. I want to hear the song.
Everybody Hurts. That's all I'll ever think about when you say a song.
No. The song from Groundhog Day. It's up.
Dun 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 dun. I got you, babe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Honey and Cher.
Sorry, I didn't know what you were talking about.
If we're gonna sing "Everybody Hurts," we're gonna need the Immortal King.
How many fucking fixes were needed on Leviathan for it to be what everybody bitched about? And who bitched? The whales, the krakens. They all like.
I honestly don't think it was the whales and krakens. I think it was the people that beat the whales and krakens, and then a couple people that were like, "Oh, well, I'm only getting 73 banners instead of 77 banners."
I don't know, man. For CG to make that many changes on one unit and to act that quickly, I feel like that was from the higher up of, hey, you promoted this to do a certain thing. It didn't. Now we want you to fix it.
Yeah.
And now look at it.
But the thing is, CG knows that we're not going anywhere. How many fucking times have I told you guys I'm going to quit, and I haven't? And I don't even spend money. They know we're not going anywhere. So they're going to do whatever they want to an extent. So the bug thing isn't bad enough for people to quit.
Bob, we love you. We adore you. You are awesome, amazing. We love doing the show. CG doesn't give a fuck about you. You know why? You don't spend money.
I just said that. They don't care.
I know. They don't give a fuck about you.
No.
I disagree. They care about you. You spend time in the game. So game time is a monetary measurable thing for them as much as money spent is, because without people playing the game, if there was just 100 whales, then it wouldn't matter, because you need the other people in the game time. You are spending your resources, which is your time and energy.
All right, so Bob,
that matters too.
All right, so Bob, I retract my previous statement. They give a shit about you, but on a separate spreadsheet.
and there's your splash of Avant's optimism.
They have the monetary spreadsheet, and then they have the time in game spreadsheet.
And so it's like a dusty sheet that no one looks at. They have to do for legality reasons.
Time in game spreadsheet, they care. When it terms the monetary game, go fuck yourself. They don't care.
But I'm talking about like bugs in the game is what I'm saying. Like they don't care if it's working or not. They know you'll buy it because it's the newest thing. You guys got to have your hands on it. It's shiny, whether it's shit or not. Did you wail on Saw Gerrera?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Hey,
I sense
a fucking Omicron on it too.
I did. I put an Omicron on Saul Guerrera because this Datacron this season was good,
and
I
he's
was like,
working as intended. I mean,
I sense a tone of regret in your voice.
Fucking terribly.
That's 4 months of. But I put Saw Gerrera with Old Man Rex and Cara Dune.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense from a lore standpoint.
And the Datacron's good. And Zareth and Solo sold me on it, so I did it.
And do you feel dirty?
Omicron.
Do you feel dirty?
No, because I'm still sitting on 2 full Omicrons, and I'm like, I'm just waiting for Scout Trooper. But now I'm kind of like,
on my yacht, arms out, sailing through the ocean, cutting through the water.
Do I want to wait, or should I wait to see what the new Bo-Katan does because she's gonna need Omicrons? Like, the thing is, I can't. And oh my god, YoungSkywalker messaged me earlier today. And he goes, "Hey, weren't those drops supposed to start today?" And I went, "Yeah, no, I think CG fucked up. They said the 19th, but now it's the 20th."
Okay, can I derail our conversation and talk about the energy for this?
Go ahead.
Okay, so if anyone follows, go follow Calvin Awesome on YouTube, and whenever there is some kind of additive drop, double drop event, he will talk about how you should hoard or spend your energy.
Yeah, and I did listen to that. He had a really good video about that. Yeah, he did.
He'll always break it down and give you value on crystals per shard, which is like, it's a resource management game. So it's going to break down based on like how much energy you should spend if you want to farm certain character shards or whatever is being dropped, right? And essentially, it depends on your time zone. So I'm US Eastern time zone. So at the reset tonight, the additive drops will go live for me.
Actually, the additive drops are live for YoungSkywalker right now.
Correct. People ahead of us.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
No?
Well, it depends what his time zone reset is. If it's still if it's still US, it's not live.
It's still US. I have to run a VPN here.
So you could switch your time reset to like an Australian time, and it would happen before everyone else. But
I was just about to say, if you play this game,
but you can actually change your time on game.
I should totally do that. The fact that my daily reset is at 5 in the morning is kind of annoying.
No shit. You should change your time. Your time. You can do that.
But I mean, let's say you didn't know how to do that, or you don't want to do that. Get you an Australian friend somewhere in the Discord or somebody, because they'll always let you know like if things bugged or anything like that.
Just go on the Swigo Reddit. There's an Australian guy named Future Man. Future Man always tells you about stuff.
By the way, I want everybody to know I am going to buy for the next show a gift card, and if people match me for whatever the gift card I did, we are going to present it to Bodhi, because I want Bodhi on one of our episodes to read Green Eggs and Ham.
Oh yes.
Except he'll forget by next week that he told you guys that, because he's already promised you guys a giveaway like 3 months ago.
I know. I'll probably forget. But I want Bodhi to read Green Eggs and Ham.
Okay. Back to additive drops. So it depends on who you need. So for me, I don't need Nisa and I don't need Captain Rex. So I'm only hoarding 2 types of energy. I'm hoarding mod energy and Cantina energy. And you have to know what your max energy is that you can carry over. It's like 1,000 for all of the energies except for your regular energy, which is 2,000, I believe. And then from that point, you cannot buy more energy. So you cannot pay 50 crystals to get more energy for any of them. You can get more energy from like your daily refreshes that happen at like the refresh times, and you might be able to buy packs and get more.
Yes, you can.
Okay, and so if you are looking for certain characters, and this really only applies if you're like trying to get Leia. If you're not trying to get Leia, then you can literally ignore this stuff because you can just wait a year until these become accelerated and then just get them that way. And it will be more efficient for you. But if you would like to have Leia within the year, then these additive drops are for you because it will be better than purchasing them in shipments.
Absolutely.
And so I will have maxed out my mod energy. I'm trying to max out my Cantina energy, but it's getting kind of expensive. Basically, 50, 100, and 200 refreshes are worth it. 400s are not. So you shouldn't do any 400 refreshes to stack up your energy. But I'm going to do my hundreds. The problem with Cantina is you get 300 refreshes, then you get 200 refreshes, and then you go to 400s. So it gets really expensive quick if you're trying to hoard your Cantina energy. But I'm going to try to stack that up as much as I can. And whatever I get, it's going to be extra on top of what I was going to have before. So that's how I'm approaching that.
Do you want to mention when Bob and my dad stepped away, the web store energy deals?
Yes. And also, if you are in the game for spending, there are packs you can buy in the web store. They're exclusive to the web store. So rest in peace to those who cannot access the web store. There are a select few of you.
Fucking me, because my old email address is logged me out, so I don't ever get this shit no more.
Jesus Christ.
Story of my life, guys. Like, apply my story of life to real life.
Can we all have a moment of silence?
Literally, for Bob.
And all the calendars. Think how many calendars I've been missing out lately. Like, entire calendars. Real quick, I want to ask you guys, have you guys looked at the calendars? I mean, they're for money. But, like, when it says find more calendars, have you guys looked at it? Because there's
like normally I will pick up maybe one of the calendars if I feel it's worth it. This month I looked at all of them and none of them were. It was a lot of, like, correct me if I'm wrong, it was a lot of mod material. But
no. Okay, well, real quick, it wouldn't be good for you, but it's a bunch of requirements for Java. Did you see that?
Yes, I got the one. I did. I got a couple of them. I got the one for Percentage. I got the one for Botch Leia. I got the one for Skiffguard Lando. I did those ones because I also needed Jawa, so I got that one for Jawa.
How much?
I think I did Fennec as well.
How much were they, like, cost wise?
I think they're 15 or 20.
Yeah, so I just wanted. I guess you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but check it out, Logan, after this, and just go down to the calendars, because there's a lot more than I've ever seen. Usually just one or two, and that's it. But there's a shitload of them now, and I've never seen them.
Yeah,
I usually look at calendars, and if I, like, for me, I look at calendars that are relic material, and if it's worth it, I'll get it. If it's not, I leave all that shit alone, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I don't look at that stuff, but that would be the only thing that would entice material.
Relic material. Yep.
Yeah, the Java calendars, it's 145 character shards of the Java requirements, and there's 2 characters in each character and each calendar.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty good, man. Especially Java's a newer GL. I was looking at that. I didn't know about it. I was like, wow, if I didn't already have him and I had some money, that would be something I might buy.
There you go. All right, Avant, bring us to our viewer questions. What do we got? It is that time.
We don't have very many, I don't think, do we?
We had a few. I had a few.
I need to start posting some in there to spice it up a little bit. I might start doing this.
Yeah, we have some.
I added one. I added a good one.
I actually added some too. I had one. For YoungSkywalker. So
He did.
Oh, Billy.
Good. So let's do it up.
Hey,
sorry, getting it pulled up. I'm
while he's pulling it up,
behind.
I actually have something. You might be mad at me for asking this, but so they're technically enhancing your GL, another GL farm. It might be a little bit more expensive, but they're kind of letting you buy another GL. You see what I'm saying through those calendars?
I have no problem.
Okay, I didn't see you have a problem. There's something big coming, people. They're giving GLs away. Anyway, I just wanted to say that. You're good. Continue on.
Okay, viewer questions. This is by far my favorite segment that we do each week. So
Mine too.
Please go into our Discord if you're not there. Hit in old man's verbs. Hit the fucking button and get in there.
We love questions. Hit the button, subscribe, like, throw a fucking question. You got a question about the game, throw it at us. We love answering them.
We have a lot of fun with like Star Wars stuff and non-Star Wars stuff. So get in the Discord, ask some questions. Come hang out.
There's times I've gone off the show and I'm fucking starving because we talked about food for 20 minutes.
And if somebody can, we loved questions about Jar Jar. So try to get one in a week.
I disregard whoever said that. Don't ask that shit. Don't bring it here. I don't give a fuck. Zero fucks on that topic. Food, gear, Swiggo, non-Jar Jar. That's it. Let's continue.
First question is from E-Ray Crafting Way. If you could create your own Journey Guide tune, what would it be and who would be the marquees introduced for that character? No GLs, no capital ships, just 4 to 5 marquees to get a 7-star unlock Journey Guide tune.
You're fucking killing me, man.
Okay.
It would be, I can't remember. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't remember his character name, but Ray Stevenson.
Balin Skull.
Yes. That scene, like, he fought Ahsoka twice, and that dude does not fuck around with a lightsaber. He has a power stance. Like,
broadsword swing.
I look at, like, it's funny, like how Ahsoka fought. It was like a dex, and young Skywalker will know what I'm talking about. It's like a dex build in Dark Souls. Yet Balin was like a strength build. And it was just, I want him in the game so badly. I loved his character. I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, maybe at the end of Ahsoka, that was it. That was the end of his character. He will wander that planet and do his thing. But I loved his character.
Mine is easy. I think, and this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I think the Journey Guide character for me would be Marchion Ro, and I would want like 4 or 5 of the old Republic Jedi from like there's some really cool Jedi from the novels and the comics. I think that Marchion Ro with some different Jedi to unlock him in a way that we had like First Order characters to unlock BB-8. So like in this way you would have Old Republic Jedi to unlock Marchion Ro. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I would go with that. I like that.
What about you, Bob?
So I have 2 that are near and dear to my heart. So first, Teak. And then Teak would require the family, that dies in the beginning. Like maybe it requires the girl, the grandpa. You could put the villains in there, the weird witch bit lady, and like whatever else is going on. I mean, you could throw in, I don't know, you know what I mean. Maybe it's one of the family members, but that's just near and dear to my heart. The one that I think would be badass, I'm gonna pull it up on the stream actually. His name is Prince Zizor, and he was in the Shadows of the Empire. I talk about him all the time. He's like equivalent to Maul in the underground. He has his own underground circuit. There's a lot of characters unique to that game that you could include. I can't really think right offhand, but there's a lot of cool fleets that he had his own fleet, his own unique ships and everything. So it could actually make them a lot of money. And my guess is that someday they will dive into this because it's quite popular. Because it had comics and everything else. So that's pretty much what I want.
What about you, Young Skywalker?
Young Skywalker, what you got?
So I have two. I think it would be really cool because I love this character, Cobb Vanth from The Mandalorian.
Nice.
You throw in some of you give him a team of like his village people and like maybe like some Tuskens. I think that'd be pretty sweet. And then just because I love the second game so much, Mitra Surik from Knights of the Republic 2 and get some new some old Republic.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I know there's a lot of Old Republic fans out there that like are just asking for more Old Republic because there was a lot of missed characters when they brought out Old Republic, but they brought them all out and people were like, please God, no more.
Yeah, they kind of hit the fatigue because it was 14 Old Republic characters in the span of a year.
It was, and it was weird because a lot of the Old Republic characters, I mean, a lot of people that picked up this game that were Star Wars fans, they looked at these two and was like, who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah.
Well, they were all from KOTOR 1 for the most part, right?
Well, Mitra Surik, where that Young Skywalker mentioned, that was Knights of the Old Republic.
That was the second one.
Yeah, it was the second one.
Right. The only one who was not from KOTOR 1 was Visas Mar. The rest of them were
Visas Mar was from 2. Yeah, and
Triumphant are the main villains of 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the trio.
Yeah, no, they brought a lot from 2, but not enough.
Not as much as they did from KOTOR 1.
Yeah. I feel like there were more iconic characters in the second game than there were the first.
Well, there's a lot of characters from KOTOR in the game that are enemies. Like I like how the Mandalorians looked back then. They kind of looked like the Emperor's guards, kind of back. I thought those were really unique. I'd like to have at least one of them. Wasn't there a unique? It's not Kalen Nord, but it was somebody who was wearing. It was
Kalen Nord. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh God, I want Kalen Nord in the game so fucking bad. I want him as a bounty hunter.
1,
2, 3. Man. All right, what else we got?
I played the first.
But I want to say real quick,
I talked to him.
I like the Cobb Vanth thing, Skywalker. I thought he was going to be the raid reward for Crate. Because he was he was part of that.
It'd have been suitable. That would have been suitable.
Yeah, that would have worked.
Now you just get currency.
Next question is from Safranis. What made you come to enjoy Star Wars? That aha moment.
The lightsaber fights in Episode 3, because that was the first Star Wars I was ever shown or like.
I don't remember the year, but my father brought me to see The Empire Strikes Back in the theater, and young Skywalker's grandfather, my father, was always a Star Wars fan, and that was just where it took off. I don't remember it, but I saw Empire in the theater. I do remember seeing Return of the Jedi in the theater when it first came out. In fact, young Skywalker, before he deployed, we went to go see the re-release for the 40th anniversary. So yeah, just Star Wars is just there. It's a thing.
It made me sad I couldn't go watch that anniversary re-release. I watched them whenever they came out to special editions. You guys remember that?
It was so fun seeing Return of the Jedi back in the theater. That was a fucking treat. It really was. To see that movie in the theater again, that was... I mean, when the credits roll by and it pans down and there's the constructed Death Star, it was outstanding.
So I've always enjoyed Star Wars. I watched the original trilogy, like just based on my age. I watched the original trilogy at my house. I was not old enough to watch them when they came out. I was actually not born. Sorry, old man.
Well, that happened.
I'm one of those prequel kids, and I like the prequels, but I think one of my favorite like big Star Wars moments that I remember is watching Rogue One and watching the Darth Vader hallway scene, and it was just like so intense as a Star Wars fan. It was maybe the most enjoyable moment I had watching Star Wars in the theaters, because I watched only the prequels in the theaters, and they were really cool and exciting. And I don't know, just as a kid, the prequels were exciting, but like the only moment I really remember was Darth Maul lighting up the double-sided blade and the theater like going nuts. And then other than that, it was like, yeah, the Rogue One scene was like a huge moment for cinematic reasons for me.
I have to say, Rogue One is up there in one of the top Star Wars movies ever done. Rogue One is almost perfect. It really is.
Yeah, I just think there's some parts that lag a bit, but besides that, it's a great, great, great movie. Skywalker, what about you, man? What's your moment?
For me, it was so the first like Star Wars I like experienced was Episode 3, and it was just the opening of Episode 3 is just so good. Although I know the prequels are kind of
Sorry,
hated,
guys,
but
give me
they
1
kinda-
second. I'll be right back.
You're good.
You good?
They were kind of hated, but then like people came around to them. The opening of Episode 3, they're in the starships and they're going through the separatist attack on Coruscant, and then you have the Dooku fight, and then you see Grievous. It's just Episode 3 is just the whole thing was just my aha moment.
Yeah, and we can thank the sequels for showing us that the prequels weren't so bad, that it can be done worse.
They're not that bad. When you look at all the additions that have been done to with the shows and everything else, it makes the other movies mean more. It really does. It just makes it mean more. And I know I had young Skywalker watch Star Wars at an early age and tried to cram that shit down his throat, and it worked.
Yeah, I wish I would have crammed it down my kids' throats, because now they don't really care. But so I want to tell you guys mine. I mean, it only happened a few years ago. I'm in the theaters, The Last Jedi. I get to see my childhood favorite hero get on his knees and milk a sea cow. That was just it for me. That's my all-time favorite memory. It's been stuck in my mind. I have nightmares about it still to this day. So, not really. But mine, like you said, I don't remember. Since I was born, my dad was there as a kid in 1977. He has been obsessed. It's been a lifestyle for him. It's been part of his life. So he did that. He crammed it down my throat, but I was just in as a kid. I remember I remember sitting in my grandma's dining room at like 3 years old, and they had these, I don't know what they were called. I don't know if they were laser discs, but they were gigantic discs.
No, they were late. It was a laser disc player.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I remember those.
And so I was about 3 years old, and that's how I watched it. And there's pictures of me like falling asleep watching it in the chair every night. That's what I wanted to watch every single night. So I mean, it's just been ingrained in me. So I guess I would just have to say like what my favorite scene was. And even as a kid, it was, and this is a cliche, what everyone says, but it's Luke, I am your father. Like, holy fuck, we didn't know that was even supposed to happen. Like, it was a great movie, and you never thought that to be the case at all. But yeah, it makes sense. Like, it was one of the it is the greatest twist in cinematic history. And just the lightsaber battle between those two in that movie, just Empire Strikes Back from start to finish, is a moment. It's just something you can get lost in and never come out of it until the credits hit. And that entire movie, in my eyes, is the greatest movie of all time. There's nothing that looks like it to this day. For me, nothing hits like it. Cinematically, it's beautiful. It lives up. It looks just as good as any other movie ever made. So, I can't really describe a scene, but just the lightsaber battles and the emotion between Luke and Vader in both Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. Both lightsaber scenes are amazing.
Apologies for stepping away. I had some dad duties to attend to.
No excuses, man. This only.
Right.
All the time.
We had TK, and he had questions for this week, and they are good ones.
Wait, did you guys go on with the questions?
Oh no, I was about to do the next one. Go ahead, take you. No, go ahead. This is your thing. Go ahead, take over.
I wasn't sure if you skipped over a couple while I was out.
No, we haven't asked anything since you were gone.
Okay, next question is from Three Bros. Non-Star Wars question. Been watching the Batman movies from earliest to newest lately. Who's the best Batman and why?
Christian Bale.
Michael Keaton.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a huge Batman fan. I'll watch them because they are entertaining. I don't hate them. I enjoy them, but I'm not like fuck yeah, Batman, man. Like a lot of people are. So I'm gonna go with Christian Bale just because that was probably the best ones that were done.
Michael Keaton was a good Batman for people that were, and again, I was a fan of the cartoon. It was dark. It was good. I prefer Christian Bale because I really like the vision that Christopher Nolan tried to set of something more modern,
Totally.
more metropolitan. It wasn't these dark settings with gargoyles on the buildings. It was more modern. So while I think Michael Keaton was an amazing Batman, I prefer the vision of the Christian Bale movies over than I do Tim Burton's.
I think that the Batman movies that I can remember, Keaton was good, Clooney was bad, and Christian Bale was really good. Just because in Christian Bale fashion, he truly embodies whatever acting role he takes on, and like literally takes it to the 10th degree, right? And some people criticize his Batman voice and we're like, oh, it's so corny. He talks in like the dark Batman voice. Where is she? Like, I enjoyed Christian Bale as Batman because he was dark, conflicted, and there was depth to his character. And also, when you look at the trilogy of those Christopher Nolan Batman movies,
they're so good.
The character development is outstanding. The villains are so good. And people like kind of trashed the first one, but it was like a separate story and it really set up Batman very well. And I thought the storytelling was excellent. So for that reason, I like the Christian Bale version a lot better.
Yeah, same here. I do. That's me.
Okay, can I extend this
I did
question?
enjoy.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't know you answered. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I did. I prefer Michael Keaton. I love Michael Keaton as an actor. I liked the Christian Bale Batman. I don't know. The voice is weird to me. Like I thought it was ridiculous. But
It's not a problem. I actually put I'll just see characters that I might use someday, and I have so many that I just want to buy a Zeta for the dopamine and just do it because I have so many. Like, I don't know.
I'm not Zeta poor. And I'm not Zeta stingy. I put Zetas on characters a lot.
And to answer this question, hell no, I wouldn't pay that much. I don't care how many Zetas because it's not that hard to come by.
No, to be 100% honest, what was the first one? $100 for how many? For 20? No, I wouldn't pay $100 for 20. I wouldn't pay $50 for 10. No. That's just I may be Zeta poor, but give me a month, I'll collect a few. It doesn't take that long. I'll just wait.
So Skywalker, what did you say? Go ahead.
Oh, I would. For 20, yeah, I would, absolutely. But I do have the double drops active, and there are no Zetas, no Omegas, none of the extra shit in the nodes, just the character shards.
Yeah, that's how it goes. The people who don't have the characters can only farm the characters. But once it's over 7-star, that's when you start getting Zetas and the other things. And the Kairos.
Oh, that really sucks for me. Because I thought I'd be able to farm the Zetas.
Personally, it's perfect for me because I'm farming those 3 characters, so I'm excited about it. But yeah, otherwise it doesn't really matter. If Leia's on anyone's radar, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, old man, just did a quick bot run. How many Zeta mats do you have available right now?
I think I'm at about 25.
Okay. You have 282 Zetas equipped in your roster.
Yes.
I have 282 Zetas.
I would just move on to that one game you're playing, Logan. The Lords of the Fallen or whatever.
Well, I've been playing the shit out of it. I'm getting there. I'm still kind of in the beginning, but I'm working on it.
Avant, do you play anything
I do.
besides Swugga?
On mobile, no. I used to play Battlefront 2. I played Jedi Fallen Order. I don't have the newer one because I don't have PS5. So.
But you just stay basically Star Wars when it comes to video games?
Yeah, for the most part. I played Diablo. I like Diablo.
Have you played the new one?
No, I've not.
They also they came out with a remastered Diablo 2, which is pretty cool.
I love Diablo 2 and Diablo 3.
And
awesome games.
On the remaster, I have it for Switch. You can switch between old style graphics like the OG and with the push of a button, or the updated graphics. So that's pretty cool too.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's worth checking out.
Yeah.
Okay, next question's from Sartokar. Question for the panel. Been playing Swigo since Malik launch. Finally saw my first Swigo YouTube ad today for the brand new event to play as GL Jedi Master Kenobi. LOL. Have you ever been targeted by the game ad, and who was it advertising?
Yeah, I scroll. I go down the TikTok rabbit hole every now and again, and every now and again an ad for Swigo, and it'll be, you can control Jedi Master Kenobi, or you can control this, and I'm going, have it.
Oh my god!
I'm like, please stop. I have this shit already.
This is a cringeworthy response, but the first ad I ever got was for Bad Batch.
I'm done. Stream over. Everything is Bad Batch. I swear I'm living in purgatory.
I keep getting the advertisement for Gideon, Beskar Armor Gideon.
Oh, there is one for him?
I haven't got that one yet.
Oh, really? Okay.
Bob, you know what counters? Bob, do you know what counters most teams?
Cup.
Bad Batch.
Fuck, you bastard. In stream.
Next question. Sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, I see him. It's funny he said the JMK one. I don't see the Swugga commercials, but just the other day I listened to YouTube while I'm in the shower, and yeah, the JMK one came on. But that's all.
Yeah.
Next question is from Dark Nar. So the web store has new daily energy packs you can buy, but of course they are ass. I think you have to have purchased energy 8 or 9 times for it to be cheaper than just buying crystals and using those.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
We kind of touched on these. Like, there's the GL ones that are pretty good, and then there's some other ones which I think are pretty bad. It's like $10 for like 100 or 200 energy. Ugh, it's kind of cringeworthy.
Yeah, that's bad. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Someone in chat, PatCan80 says 500 energy for $10.
Yeah.
You might as well just buy crystals then.
Yeah, I think the conversion rate on that's not very good. I have to do some. It sounds not
Like,
good.
it's not. And I mean, believe me, I would spend, and that's not even enticing me. No.
I mean,
Okay,
even-
last question is a
Last
late
question.
submission from Jack Daniels. Question: I'm always close to the mod cap. What is your threshold for keeping or selling mods?
Do they have a secondary that's 4 or 5 from white all the way up? From if they're like the white rarity mods, if they have a 4 or 5 secondary, I keep them. If they have a 3 or no speed at all, I sell them.
I
don't-
sell
I-
anything other. I sell everything under +5 on speed.
I sell all white mods. I sell all green mods. I only keep
Oh my
blue,
goodness.
purple, or gold.
Yep.
Some of my best mods came from white mods.
I don't.
I don't have the time for that shit.
I don't even
Yeah,
look.
you try.
I don't even look. I go to the filter. I put it where the speeds are in the secondaries. I hit select all. I hit upgrade all, and then I just go through them. Whatever, because they're all 15 at this point. So anything that's not, for me, I don't have much. So anything from 8 below, anything 9 and above, I keep. You know what I mean? But other people, it's
All right.
different. That have better mods, they can be more picky. Me, I can't. So I just upgrade them all, and anything that's 8 or below, I delete. And
If I had more time, I'd look at the gray mods and look at the secondary stats and see which ones were like beneficial, and then maybe upgrade them. But I don't know. I don't usually do that. I'm not gonna lie. That's all the viewer questions.
That's it. All right.
we're fucking done. We're out.
And we are done. It is 11:34. That is enough for tonight. It is just about dawn from where young Skywalker is sitting right now.
This one's been up for an hour.
Oh, okay. I want to thank young Skywalker immensely for taking his time, defending the embassy, being an American soldier, being my son. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I know you're probably tired, but we're really glad that you came back into the game. We're glad that you hung out with us. And yeah, I've got nothing but gratitude, and I'm just so proud. So that's all I got.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for doing your duty. It's always appreciated. Yeah, man, you're always welcome. Anytime you want to come back, bud. And welcome back to the game.
Fantastic.
Yeah, welcome back to the Cantina. Thank you for your service. And man, this old man. That's pretty cool too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. All right. Well,
We gonna raid anyone, Bob?
Oh yeah, Bob, we're gonna raid somebody.
Yeah, I'll get that going. You say the goodbyes, and I'll get that going.
All right. So for myself, Old Man Logan 76, Avant, Bob, and Young Skywalker, thank you for joining the Cantina. Hope this was a fun episode for all of you to listen to. Please join us again next week. Don't be shy. Hit the fucking button. Love you. Thank you for supporting us. And peace. Good night.